Gold just realized its biggest yearly gain since 2010, and Wall Street says it's going even higher. Heading into 2025, JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs are both forecasting $3,000 an ounce gold and paltry returns for stocks. Call the proud Americans of the Patriot Gold Group today before it's too late. Mention the Still Report, and you'll always get best-in-class service from Patriots protecting patriots. Call 888-753-1647 for a free investor guide today. Patriot Gold Group is Consumer Affairs' top-rated gold IRA dealer 7 years in a row. Call 888-753-1647. Good afternoon. I'm still reporting on President Trump's one mistake, Operation Warp Speed. Operation Warp Speed was a public-private partnership initiated by the U.S. government to accelerate the development of an effective COVID-19 vaccine. The program was officially announced on May 15, 2020. President Trump, to his credit, used all the capabilities of the government to bring a vaccine into use in months compared to the typical course of vaccine development, which takes years. However, that shattered all the traditional norms of vaccine development by ignoring the necessity of long-term safety and efficacy testing, which eventually led to side effects such as unusual sudden deaths of young and usually healthy people from myocarditis and pericarditis. Dr. Robert Malone, the creator of the mRNA vaccine, had some comments about President Trump's announcement 3 days ago.
What do we have here? This is the logic of what Mr. Ellison is promoting here is grossly naive. It's a concept that is well over 30 years old, and it's been repeatedly discredited. One of the things that makes this idea of a universal cancer vaccine so problematic is kind of a good news story. Human beings are outbred really diverse, unlike inbred mice. And that means that in particular, our immune systems are genetically very diverse. We have a whole cluster of molecules that are highly variable between humans that control how our immune system responds to threats and antigens. And cancer is absolutely a failure development of tumors in our bodies that happens all the time. And in most cases, our immune system is able to take care of it. But sometimes it evolves in ways that allows it to escape immune surveillance in a given person. Some of those pathways are universal. They happen again and again. Others are different, unique. But each person has a fairly unique immune system and immune response, which is a real problem if you're talking about developing a universal vaccine for all humans and doing so computationally. Now, is this idea of using computers to generate vaccine candidates new? No, it's been around for at least 30 years. I've had multiple clients that focused on this kind of technology, and they've made some progress, but it's really hard to develop even a single cancer vaccine. Frankly, when I listened to this, my response was, this is so naive, it wouldn't make it past the first 5 minutes of diligence at any of the venture capital firms that I've ever presented to. But here it is. And it has the advantages of combining these cool terminology and technologies, artificial intelligence, mRNA, and of course, since the Biden administration failed with its cancer moonshot, this is an opportunity for President Trump to do the prior administration, Joe Biden, one better. Another science fiction TV series has been tapped to give the name for this new health initiative. I'm of the opinion that it's not the proper government role to pick winners and losers. For a market that's enormous, the cancer market is a multi-trillion-dollar global market. It doesn't need government incentives, unlike biodefense. Who wouldn't want to have this miracle that Larry Ellison is predicting? would be fantastic. I would be the first to applaud. However, having been in this space for my entire career and knowing what the setbacks and challenges are, let's gently say I wish them luck. This is not a place for federal investment, and I just am blown away how Susie Wiles let this one slip through on day 2 of the presidency. Just escapes me.
And that's what Elon Musk is saying. I mean, you're saying this is corporatism, public-private partnerships, and involves the USG picking winners and losers, again, without really understanding the tech landscape. This is not the proper role of government. Plus, does Trump understand, as you said, his chief of staff certainly does, how unpopular mRNA is after the giant disaster?
No, he doesn't. Actually, that I know, okay? He is all dug in that Operation Warp Speed was a huge success and that the genetic vaccines worked, and that they're a major success story for him. And I've talked to, I'm sure you have also, many, many people who have been in the prior administration and are in contact with him routinely. And they all say that this is not something that's negotiable. Who doesn't want to cure cancer? It's a noble quest. It absolutely shows his good heart and his good intentions. But these tech bros think that because they have been so successful in the digital technology space and made so much money, that gives them kind of a blanket genius label, and they can wade into all kinds of other technologies with their opinions. And that's not the case. Cancer immunology is incredibly complex, and we're a long ways from understanding it. If they want to apply AI, bless their hearts, they ought to apply it to better understanding the immunology of cancer if that's what they want to do. But this kind of really kind of dumb, outdated approach, oh, we're just going to grab the cells. Yeah, that's been known for years, circulating tumor cells. We're going to grab those. Well, that's a problem. That's actually not so easy to do by flow cytometry even. But we're going to grab them and we're going to sequence them. And then within 48 hours, we're going to apply a magic AI that's going to generate a cancer vaccine candidate, and then we can make that as an RNA. That is just either a egregiously pitched lie, or somebody is advising Larry Ellison that doesn't know what the heck. It has that same flavor of somebody pitching influential high net worth individuals with a concept that is really smoke and mirrors. That's what I see, and I wish it wasn't so. I'm absolutely in favor of innovation and technology. My God, it's like my brand, okay? But spending big money, big federal money on a program like this and highlighting it on the second day of your presidency?
Why did they roll out mRNA with all of its promise with the spike protein and could even predict in the FDA it was going to do what it did on purpose, and then cover it up, and it hasn't been successful in the cover up? I mean, what was the point of them doing that? It seems like somebody actually wanted to depopulate a bunch of people, crash the economy, and then also discredit mRNA.
And as if that isn't enough, that it would eventually blow back on the entire public health and vaccine enterprise. So it's hard not to go down the conspiracy pathway and speculate that there was some nefarious intent. It's either nefarious intent, it's incompetence, it's some mixture of both. It's hard to say, and I can't read minds. But there's no question that the deployment, maybe it was just, exuberant enthusiasm. They were true believers, and they thought that this was going to cure the world, and they actually thought that SARS-CoV-2 was a highly lethal pathogen that was going to kill 3 out of every 100 people. All that turns out to be false, but maybe they were just caught up in the moment, or maybe they were so afraid they were guilty of having enabled this that they frantically were casting around for something that would allow them to mitigate the risk. Or maybe this was just the camel's nose in order to get everybody to accept genetic modification. I mean, we can go on and on and on.
Well, Fauci, 2 years before they did all that, it said we were going to have a new virus, as you know, on C-SPAN out of China that'll let us blow up the old FDA system. So, I mean, they definitely said that.
Yeah. No, I think there's probably a lot of agendas going on here. And we probably will never get to the bottom of it, but Alex Jones has done a pretty good job of laying out the case for many of them.